So when a vet is going to purchase a home, is there a certain criteria? Are there certain homes? Are there limitations? What does the home have to have or not have to qualify for a VA loan?
Be eligible, okay.
Yeah.
Residential financing is defined as a 1 to 4 family unit, and that's what a VA will do. They'll do a mortgage on a 1 to 4 family unit, okay? The advice I give to veterans is it's better to start with a single family. Restrictions are there are restrictions in 2 to 4 family purchases. So to make life easier, to get them qualified, pre-approved, it's easier to do it with a 1 family.
Primary residence as well.
Primary residence, absolutely. Yep. You cannot use a VA mortgage for a second home, for an investment property. Yeah. Again, that's not the spirit of the program, right? They want it. The federal government wants to help veterans get their first home. The only thing I would caution is when looking for a condo, the condo should be VA approved. It has to be VA approved. And we have to be pragmatic because when you sign a contract, there's a time period involved in it. You have to execute within the parameters of the contract. If you try and buy something that is not VA approved, and the first thing we have to do is try to get it VA approved, you're not going to meet those deadlines of your contract. So the best approach when you want to buy a condo is go to the VA website, look at the condos that are already approved, then go to your realtor and say, I'd like to buy a condo. Are there any available in these buildings? That's really the best approach.
We'll always encourage the buyer to go back to their realtor and find out if that condo is approved, because it's a nightmare for that whole process. It could take months. So it's so important. That's the first step.
And that's a good point, because a lot of agents wouldn't know that until we started working with you guys on these loans. I was not aware that there was an approved condo list. So you don't want to have a buyer come to an agent and we have no idea what they're referring to. So that's a good point.
Right. And just so you know, like with the multi-families, the reason why they should steer clear of that is unless you have a history of being a landlord,
experience,
you can't use that rental income to qualify. So that's why we all know how expensive, multifamilies are. So it's not like a regular mortgage where like, Fannie, Freddie, FHA, where Stony May, where I can use that rental income to qualify. You can't. So best advice, you're buying your first house, stick with a single family. You can get 100% financing, and that's the easiest way to begin.
And
that's
tread lightly getting into condos. Just make sure they're eligible
make
for the loan.
sure
Ask that
they've
question.
been approved, VA approved.